Hi, my name is Amanda, and I am going to be going through my training program on becoming a trainer. I work for a theme park, and I am a core trainer, so one of the main trainers for my department, and I help train cast members in my department who want to be trainers. So I train the trainer. I wanted to develop a new way that we do this because the current way that we do it is a bit time consuming. So looking at my needs assessment, so this would be for those cast members who want to become trainers, and they have expressed their interest in wanting to do this. So we take the time to train them to be a trainer. So they already have department knowledge. It's just a matter of being able to now show others how to do that. I want to consolidate our current training because it's currently 18 days, and that's spent over 2 training rounds, because when we train new hires, they go through 9 days of training. So it's 18 days because an incoming trainer will watch a core trainer for a first round, and then a second round, the core trainer will watch the incoming trainer. But I really wanted to consolidate this and find a new way, an efficient way to do this, because 18 days is a very long time, and sometimes it's not within our training budget to do so when we need new trainers, but we don't have the budget for it. So I wanted a more efficient way that's still beneficial to the new hires as well as the incoming trainers, and that we can do this proficiently. Because these cast members who are becoming trainers already have department knowledge, the focus is kind of shift a bit. So now it's going to be helping the core trainers, helping the incoming trainers understand learning styles and how to adapt their training to those, explaining department procedures to new hires. So although they know how to do them, can you explain them? As well as providing feedback and the importance of that, and showing ideas and training methods for certain tasks and procedures. The learning objectives for this training module, there are 4 that I've created, and what the cast members, the incoming trainers, will be able to do. So again, being able to explain the department procedures and tasks by discussing them with their trainees. So yes, I know you know how to do it, but can you explain it to somebody who has never seen our programs and systems before? Going in hand with that is being able to demonstrate these. So yes, I know you know how to do it, but can you show somebody how to do it? Can you take that time, slow yourself down, and demonstrate it properly to a new hire? Then being able to examine the way a trainee performs. So after you've taught somebody how to do something, can you watch them and understand and see whether or not they perform that task correctly, and knowing when you need to go back and reiterate, reword, or even reteach the entire process. That way that trainee is fully understanding what you're asking of them. And then finally, being able to evaluate that trainee's performance to provide positive and constructive feedback, and why it's important to provide positive and constructive feedback, and essentially what those things are. So positive, building up that trainee's confidence and letting them know they're doing something right, as well as the constructive part of it, which is providing that feedback in that moment when maybe they do something wrong. And it's not necessarily the whole thing is wrong, but maybe there's just one particular thing that I need you to shift your focus on. So then the program design, I would start by exciting my incoming trainer for this. They wanted this. They've worked for this. We've not only as core trainers, but the leadership team has recognized that they wanted to do this. So encouraging that. And I want to excite them by letting them know all the benefits that we have as trainers and how we are looked to as the department experts, because we live in this training realm where we constantly do these things over and over again. So we know the ins and outs of these procedures, and the fact that others can now come to us for that advice is a great feeling, because it just lets you know even more that you know what you're talking about. The training for this would not be 18 days. It would be about 11. So for the first 2 days, the incoming trainer and the core trainer would spend 2 days together going through documents and materials and all the things that are needed when training new hires. So basically all the logistics. And the core trainer will also help the incoming trainer with any questions that they may have, or maybe they need to brush up on a couple procedures and like just a better understanding, which is totally fine. That's what those 2 days are for. Preparing the incoming trainer for what's coming. Then the next part would be having the incoming trainer and core trainer train new hires, and in that 9-day training setting. So this would be split in half because that training takes place in 2 phases. So the first phase would be the core trainer training the new hires while the incoming trainer watches and sees what the core trainer does and the methods they use and the procedures and how they give feedback and how they explain things. All those things that we want the incoming trainer to learn, and they're watching and seeing that as the core trainer does it. Once the new hires finish their first phase, they then move into their second phase of training in the department. This is where I would like for it to switch. And now the incoming trainer is training the new hires while the core trainer watches. And essentially, we as core trainers are now watching to see, is this new trainer taking what I've shown them and have taught them through these past essentially 6 days to now use it for these last few days to teach the new hires all the things that they need to know, and are they doing it correctly and proactively. We would do, to train the incoming trainers, it would be blended training and face-to-face. So a lot of face-to-face just because we do work with the new hires directly and in live environments and settings with guests. So it's going to be very much that live environment. But I also wanted to include computer-based training, not only because it's a company policy that we have to do, but also too because I want them to be able to step out of that live environment of face-to-face and be able to just take a second to themselves and go back over what's been taught and make sure that they understand it, and use computer-based learning, computer-based training, as we call it, CBTs, to be able to either watch videos or read through scenarios that they may experience as trainers and be able to answer questions, both multiple choice, short essay, and that way they have an understanding. And then those would come back to us as core trainers to show me where they're at in their training, not only as what I'm seeing, but what those incoming trainers are responding to in a written setting. The training would take place on stage and backstage. So for the incoming trainer, it's all considered on stage because even if they're not with a trainer, even if they're not with new hires, they're with me and they're still training. So it's still face-to-face on stage. And it'll be done with an I do, we do, you do process. So again, because we will have new hires involved and the core trainer will be taking place, will be in charge for some of it. The incoming trainer will watch the core trainer for a while, and then the core trainer and that incoming trainer have time together, and then at the end, eventually the incoming trainer will be doing it on their own. So that's the I do, we do, you do. Or for those who are very much as part of the education world, it is the essentially the guided practice and independent practice. So the teaching guided practice and independent practice. A lot of technology is involved because we use it very heavily at the resort. We use a lot of software and programs that are specific to our department. And so teaching the ins and outs of these is very big during the training process. And we use these across a wide variety of desktops, laptops, iPads, iPhones, and iPods, all very easily accessible during the training. The evaluations will take place during the we do and I do phases. So the core trainer will be watching during the training to be able to give constructive feedback to the incoming trainer to let them know while they are still training what it is that they are doing great and what it is that they need to change a little bit. And then after training as well. So once we've signed off this incoming trainer to be a trainer, we will still go back and observe them to make sure that they are utilizing what they have been trained in the correct way and properly. And then again, provide feedback as necessary. Then overall, we'll want core trainers, we will want to look at this new training program and compare it to the previous way that we train incoming trainers to see was this beneficial at all? It's something we've been talking about for a while, so I really wanted to just kind of kick it into high gear. But basically, we'll look at the two and see, okay, what went great with this and what didn't? And then look at our previous one and again, be what went great with this and what didn't? And was this still beneficial to both the trainer and trainees and the new hires and everyone involved, essentially? A lot of challenges and issues come with technology because we are very technology based. We also get a lot of system downtimes. It has happened a lot, but we do have things in place on how to go around that. So that's just something I want to keep in mind and have hard copies and paperwork available to the trainers. And also maintaining their attention spans, not only with incoming trainers, but as well as with the new hires and knowing how to do this. And then department updates can be a challenge and issue because sometimes things get updated in the middle of training, and there's nothing we can do about that, and we just have to go with it because it's a department update. I'll give you one example. During this class and creating this training program, everything was fine. And then this last week, I was pulled into a meeting to let me know that a lot of our softwares and training is changing. And so I don't want to say that me creating this was essentially quote unquote a waste, but now that everything is changing, this is all stuff that I can no longer do. So that's a huge challenge and an issue for me right now. Because although I would really like to dive further into this and really use it in my role, we may not be able to. So that's an issue and a challenge that I came across, and it was sprung on me very recently, and it's unfortunate, but again, it's something that I have to do and I have to adapt. So now I really am going back to my training and looking at what we currently have, and now I need to incorporate the software not only to train the new hires, but again, train any incoming trainers. So yeah,